Good morning. Let me know if the audio and visual is okay. See, we had Whip in here. Our beautiful people. Let's get tanked. You know it. It's Cecil. Doing good myself. How are you doing this morning? So, lots to talk about on this live stream. Well, you see the title of the live stream, Is It Always Our Fault When We Lose a Fish? And there's a reason why I chose this topic for this morning's live stream. Hey, Myers, good to see you. It's a good Spider Lady. Kim, hello. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming. That seems like a new name to me. Unless it's somebody I know that changed their name. I'm going to start my live streams with my quick commercials from now on. And it'll be quick. One of the things I wanted to talk about in this live stream, as I said, there's lots to talk about, is I am now a Higer affiliate. I was sponsored by them. They now made me affiliate, what's that mean? It means I have an affiliate link. I have it on my YouTube channel. If a moderator knows how to do it, you can go to my links on my channel, and if you could share the affiliate link. If you decide you want to buy something with Higer and you think about it, use my link. I'll get a 10% commission on anything you buy. And all that, of course, is just going to dump right back into the channel so I can maintain my hobby and give back to you guys. Also, sponsor is a Northfin. Northfin is a sponsor of the channel. And obviously, when I get their food, I like to do giveaways. And you guys can receive that too. And it's not just little sample packs of food. You get full bags. I spoke with, and I'm hoping Christine comes in here, Sweet Acres Koi. She asked me last Saturday about seeing if I could get one of their nets, and I spoke to them about that. So other than that, channel memberships, and that'll be it. That's it for my commercials. Real quick. Hey, Laura, good to see you. And don't forget about the Ninja games. I made a spot back here on my whiteboard to make it easier to keep track instead of writing it down on a piece of paper. Right now, the lead is Tim with 3 stop signs first consecutively. You guys are going to receive a gift card for that for the winner of that. I have to go out and go to the bathroom. I have to go out and go do something, or I'm showing something. Put a stop sign of any choice, anything that signifies stop. So when I come back into the chat, I know where I left off, and whoever gets that first consecutively wins a gift card. This looks like scam. If I can get a moderator to kick that one out. Everything's going good. So the topic of the live stream, when we lose fish, is it always our fault? And what prompted that is after I moved my fish room from my dining room into my garage, I noticed I wasn't seeing my bristlenose pleco for a few days. Usually he's always out in the mornings on the glass, or I see him. I can grab my flashlight. I haven't seen him. So what I did, that tank was due for dire maintenance, had a bunch of algae. Long story short, he was dead in the back with fungus on him. Now, it looks like he was dead for at least a week in there, or a little less. And I had a little ember tetra in there as well that died. Pulled him out, did a good water change. All the other fish are fine. You know, that bristlenose was probably 4.5, 5 inches in a 29-gallon aquarium. So, you know, I thought there would have been an issue. And this is a testament to plants, because I don't do maintenance on my tanks but every once a month. But that tank is packed. I mean, packed full of plants, and I'm pretty sure it kept the ammonia under control. So I lost my bristlenose pleco, and I lost an ember tetra in that tank. And I have an angelfish over here that's not doing so hot. I have Been doing Epsom salt baths on him, but he just sits at the top of the surface laying flat, but he's still alive. If you move him, he'll flip and go down, but he always comes up. So I don't expect him to last too long. I was on Dan's live last night, and he was talking about fish that he lost and other people. It must have been a fish lost week. Everybody coming in. We got Tommy coming in. Everyone's saying hello. Hey, Peplin, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Great channel member. Myers is a channel member and moderator. All this can go as smooth without you guys, and I appreciate you all. Raisins coming in. Good to see you, buddy. I was in the middle of building a stand. One of them guys that keeps all their scraps of wood, big, little, and because of that, I had enough wood, 2x4s, to build a nice stand for this. You've probably seen it. I have it's like a 30-gallon Petco tank. It's blue. It's acrylic. Tommy knows. I was talking about him the day I found it free on the side of the road. That's where I have my angelfish I'm raising. I'm sick of it being on the floor. I hate when tanks are on the floor, so I built that stand for it. All I have to do now is cut the top for it, piece of plywood, and then I have a nice foam mat that I put down because it is an acrylic tank. And that's going to be set up over there up where I can work on it, and you can see it easier. And if I could get an AV check, I'm sitting over here chatting my gums, and I don't even know if it sounds good. Jim's Fish made it in. Good to see you. Everyone's saying hello. So, I talked about my fish loss. Lost 2 fish. I talked about the little stand I'm building to get this 30-gallon up off the floor. AV's good. Thank you, Laura. And I want to talk a little bit about this tank right beside me here, this 55-gallon Tiger Barb tank. I robbed some plants out of my 10-gallon Father Fish tank because the plants are wonderful in there. I think these are Tiger Lotus. Well, let me show you. Maybe you guys can tell me. I think it's Tiger Lotus. Love this plant. This right here. I don't think I can get her any closer. Back up. Let it focus. This plant right here, I took it out of the Father Fish tank and put it in here because this tank was lacking plants. I also put in some more jungle val and some anacharis, hornwort as well. But love this plant. It's like lily pads that float at the top. And I think I might have frog bit in here. I got these little things that float at the top. It's okay. It happens to all of us. I mean, but that's leads me into the topic of this morning's live stream. When we lose fish, is it always our fault? At this point, everybody in here is a well-seasoned fish keeper. I seen that bristlenose pleco days prior to moving into the garage, and he was on the side and he looked fine. I moved the tank into the garage. A couple days later or so, I check and he's not in there. He's dead. In the back, fungus on him, bloated up. Yeah, yeah, it is a light green. How about I'll tell you what I'll do. Bear with me a moment. Send myself an invite link. so I can show you these plants. Here we go. And maybe you guys can tell me what kind of plant this is. All right. What kind of plant is this? Cecil says I lost one of my big common plecos, and he was a year old and 11 inches long. I loved him. Yeah, it sucks. Well, thanks, Pepin. Tiger barb is one of my favorite fish. This 55-gallon tank was my very first aquarium, and tiger barbs being one of my favorite fish is why I chose to put this tank beside me, and the fact that the 55 gallons footprint fit perfect here. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. Here. Does that fix it? Is that better? The echo's gone now. So does anybody know? I'm sure Tommy can tell me what kind of plant this is. Yep, I fixed the echo. I'll show you over here on the Father Fish tank what it looks like. The pads come up to the top like that, just like kind of like a lily pad. Very cool, love it. And these little pieces, if I think that's frog bit. Is that right? Would all these little green floaters be frog bit or the other one that everybody hates? But I love how it traces off in the water column, and it's a viney type plant. There's my Misty Miss. Did it have a bulb on the bottom? No, it's kind of like they trace off, and as you can see here, see how they do? How the roots just hang out. Not Taiwan, definitely. Yeah, duckweed, that's where it went. Thank you. Father Fish sent me duckweed is some kind of a sick joke, I think. Yeah, right next to her dad. Oh, hold on, I got a phone ring. We'll mute that. Well, Miss here is in heat. We got to get her fixed, and all the 2 male dogs inside are driving us nuts. Pennywort? Tommy must have left because I know he would have been all over this question. Let me get down here at the bottom so you can get a good look at the leaves. See how it just goes off. Hydrocotyl. The gray dry. And you know, Father Fish, all his plants are picked from the wild, and they actually smell wild. Some of them smell minty. But I absolutely love this plant, and I don't know what the name of it is. I'm not sure what that lily-looking plant is, but I have several of them. Okay, and a couple of tanks. Thank you, Raisin. Yeah, it grows. This plant grows clear up out of the tank, sits on top of the aquarium, and it doesn't die. It's fantastic. Greg's planted tanks. Oh, yeah, you were in here. Sorry. How big are the leaves? I want to say about inch in diameter, about an inch. Some of them are a little bigger, like this one here is going to be a little bit bigger than an inch. But it's like viney, it traces off, and I can tell this is a floating plant. You don't need to put it into the substrate, because these like go up to the surface and sit at the surface like a lily pad, and I love it. I hope you guys can see it well. So we don't. So what are we saying this is? And of course, I always let the algae grow in the background of my tanks. Algae's great for the aquarium, and it makes it look natural. Okay, I'll look it up. There's a plant that sells that similar hydrocoral, but not. Okay, thanks, Tommy. Love this thing. Yeah, this is one of the plants I got from Father Fish that he sent me, and it grew so well I was able to take some out of that 10-gallon and put it in here for some different plants. Gives the tiger barb something to chill and something to do. Love these fish. Oh, that is another fish. I lost one of my tiger barbs too. Uh, he was just floating at the top dead. Don't know what happened. But like I say, that leads me into, is it always our fault that we lose fish? I don't think so. Pennywort, okay. Thank you. Which says I got some sort of lily from Aquarium Cove that looked like that and sold as a bulb. There was a leafy mass in the substrate, and it would shoot runners to the surface like a lily. Not sure if that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I am not a plant expert. There's a lot he sent me that I don't know what it is. I do know the hornwort. I didn't know what that one was, but it's doing great, and I love it. What a wonderful plant. Hydrocotyle is the scientific name for pennywort. Okay. Okay. Well, don't give me the scientific names, Laura. We don't use big words in this live stream. We'll go with pennywort, okay? Hey, Wally, good to see you. So, is it always our fault that if we lose fish? I don't think so. I think fish just die sometimes. Most of us in here are experienced fish keepers, and we know how to keep fish. And as time goes on, some of us transition to more natural. Some of us always started off natural style fish keepers, like Tommy. Sometimes, most of my fish, when they die, they're not showing any signs of disease or fungus or parasites. They look fine. And then one day you wake up and they're just dead floating at the top of the water. Well, what happened? And if you can clearly tell that it's not bullying, what happened? Why did this fish just all of a sudden die? Before I jump to meds, like I would prefer if a fish was dying that it showed some kind of signs of disease. Then I could take them out. I could put them in a stress-free tank and start with salt. I like to start with salt. I will use Epsom salt for certain things. If I have to go to the meds, that's second. Usually I can fix my fish that way. Now, in my experience, even after you fix a fish using medications, they never really do seem to be the same after that. Even though you've resolved the issue, I don't think they fully recover. I've had some fish fully recover and live the rest of their lives out, however long that may be, but I think I've had more fish come out of that never the same. By the way, these tiger barbs love that hornwort too. They pick at it. I hope they don't destroy it. So I don't believe it's always our fault. And I think a lot of fish keepers, when they have a fish die, instantly they feel guilty. What did I do wrong? Why did this happen? I used to do that to the point it drove me nuts. Like, What did I do wrong? Well, as time went on, I realized I give all my fish a pretty good life and I take care of them. Water parameters are always great. And as time went on and I gained more experience, and then I started a YouTube channel and I met a lot of you guys and learned a lot of stuff off of you guys. I started changing the way I would medicate a fish or keep my tanks. For an example, I used to do weekly water changes. Oh my God, we got to do weekly water changes. Well, now I'm down to a month and my water parameters are fine and my fish are fine. One thing that I have found that can be a problem when you're doing monthly water changes is you're allowing a lot more time for certain things to build up in your aquariums, like phosphates and algae has a lot more time to take over the tank. Things like cyanobacteria get a lot more time to be in your aquarium when you're doing monthly water changes. But I think all that is as an adjustment at lighting at that point. So I have adjusted my lighting down in all my aquariums. And I am proud to report, and if you remember, I've talked about it in the past, that I don't have cyanobacteria in my tiger barb tank here anymore or my Oscar tank anymore. I've lowered the lighting hours. I've made sure not to let things sit too long, and it seems to have resolved the issue. So I don't believe it's always our fault when a fish dies. Sometimes fish just die. Well, there's two glowfish chase each other all the time I rescued. They're the ones keeping my father fish tank going. Peplin says, I change water when needed, not on a schedule. Yeah, I used to schedule it too, Peplin. I was like, all right, every Saturday I got to change the water. I don't do that no more. It's once a month, and it's not always at the exact time every month. I just change it up when I'm available because that bleeds into not making this hobby a chore. I got to have a perfect schedule. And some people, if that's the way you are, that's fine. Some people are like to be well organized with stuff like that. And there's not a problem with that. I get it. I'm well organized with certain things myself. But I just think if you let these aquariums take care of themselves, they will. Now, I don't like to go too much more than a month doing water changes because I do like to get the fresh water in there, get some fresh minerals in there. I'm not used to having a tank this close to me during a live stream. I love this. I got to get me some more tiger barbs. And neon tetras, another favorite fish of mine. I am steadily scouring the Facebook market site for at least a 240-gallon aquarium. I found some. I did find one for free in Wilmington. That'd be quite a drive for me, a couple hours or more. But the guy didn't get back to me, so I think it's a scam. Let's see if I said something I missed up here. I tend to think it is, sometimes more than others. The bottom line is, would they have died if I left in the wild and the way they died for you? Usually it's clearly my fault, but bad water, bad tank mate. Okay. So Whip tends to think that if a fish dies, it is our fault. Hey, Garcia, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. I do it on a schedule because my water always needs it. It comes out of the tap bad, so if I let it go more than a week, it really goes sideways. Okay, Whip, I got you. And see, that's the thing. This is going to be different to everybody, where you live, what your water's like, things like that. The fish you keep. You can probably hear my dog in there barking because he, like I said, my female's in heat. Pepin says axolotls and cichlid tanks I change quite often. But the smaller planted tanks I don't have to touch very often. Yeah, Peplin, and that's one thing I love about these heavily planted, plant-controlled dirted tanks. You just have to top them off. They're fine. My nitrates never go above 5 ppm. But what I want to say, Whip, though, is I don't think it's always our fault. I don't. I mean, if you get a fish and it arrives at your house, if it's going to die, it's going to die within the next few days of getting it. And I think that's just from the stress of the move. Now, in that case, if we would have left that fish alone in the wild, he'd still be alive today. So it's human intervention that made that happen, 100%. Um, but if you, as an experienced fish keeper, and you're running an aquarium and your water parameters are good, and you know what you're doing, and you don't stress your fish out, you feed high quality foods or whatever foods they want. All of a sudden, you wake up and they're dead floating at the top. What happened? Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Appreciate the reminder. Man, same with Myers. Thank you. Whip says, right, not one situation is the same. Sometimes not even within the same fish room. Exactly. Because I always say, not any tank's the same. They're like fingerprints. They're all different. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Tim made it in. Another great channel member. Appreciate you. And moderator. And we got Whip in here as a great moderator. Mel says, my game is keeping nitrate up. Mel wants to keep her nitrates up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you guys around the fish room a little bit now that I got this other camera and I got this headset so I can keep talking with you. It's a little bit messy because, like I said, I'm currently building a stand for this 30-gallon. But would you guys like me to walk you around a little bit? Holy crap, Dan made it in. I didn't think he would. Now I don't have to change his Windex with vinegar and hide his car keys, hide his Randy Travis poster, and pee on his toilet seat. Patty made it in. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you guys all coming in. Well, Dan found me. What's up, chat? How's everyone? Mine's going good, Tim. Appreciate you asking. I'm having a good weekend. Every weekend's a good weekend. Yeah. Fish rooms are always a little messy. Not mine, Whip. I keep mine in order. It's just messy right now because I'm building the stand. And I'm going to show you a little something I put together. This is going to be interesting. You guys are going to want to see this. I'm going to do a walk around. Mel wants me to do a walk around. My fish tanks. Well, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm trying to get to sleep, but not having much success. Well, hang out with us. You might fall asleep. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little walk around of the fish room and show you what I've been up to since I got everything out here. Johnny No Shoes. That's right. My Fish Tanks Aquatics, Johnny No Shoes. For some reason, I always confuse him with Jeff. All right, let's walk you around, show you what I've been up to, and I'm going to show you a little something I've done and put together for plant water. So all you fish gurus, you might like this setup. Miss. Pretty girl, you pretty girl. So I made this stand for all my small tanks. This is the father fish setup. This is a 20-gallon long community tank. It's got a long fin beta, a long fin Danio in here. Beautiful guppy. He's trying to attack my phone. And there's some small amber tetras in here, snails and such, you name it. That's a dirted tank. This tank here, I'm going to have to clean up a little bit. It's a little fuzzy. But this is my mustard gas male beta. And, of course, I got that pack full of plants. I just thinned these plants out in here yesterday. They were getting so full the fish could hardly swim around. A little hard to see in here, but these are those angel fish I raised. They're doing great. This is the tank I'm going to put up on my stand so it's not down below here. They're doing really good. Here's a female beta, and I call it the jungle. It's packed full of jungle val. And there is one, she's in her cave, but This is an ugly tank. But there's a long fin serpent tetra in here. And you can kind of see what I got going on there here. Of course, you already know the 55-gallon tiger barb tank. And here's my heavily planted 29-gallon. Just some small fish in here. This is the tank the bristle nose was in that died that I was telling you about. We've got some platies, got some resboras, zebra danio. They're coming out. They're ready for something to eat. And there is some neon tetras in here. They like to hide. They've been coming out lately. Now over here is just try to cover up the garage door a little bit. That's where I do my treadmill, and I got my aquarium tools over there and my regular tools over here. I didn't want to have all my tools out in the shed because, you know, we use this stuff all the time. No sense in taking a walk to the shed when you come back out to the garage. And this is the stand I'm building for that 30-gallon. It'll be painted and plywood top with a foam mat because it is acrylic. And it's going to go over there. I'm going to move those little tanks out over there. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. Of course, I got the shelves for all the foods and different things I use. Here's a picture of me running around with my Jake that died years ago. He was my good buddy. He used to run with me when I rode my four-wheeler. And of course, here's a good saying. A friend of mine gave me this. And I use this cart for various things. I keep my flashlight on a holster on the wall, the Mr. Cool remote. And I have installed green LED lights all around. I'm going to tell you about that light in a little bit. All around the room, the green LED lights. Green's my favorite color. And I got green LEDs on the desk. By the way, guys, don't forget Ninja Games. I walked away, so throw your stop sign. Whoever gets it first consecutively wins a gift card. So go around. Here's the 120, and this is an awesome setup, I think. Doesn't that look great? 125-gallon community tank, 125-gallon fancy goldfish tank. North fin banner with all these pothos just doing real well. Here's my little race cars. Little Pictus cats. Love those guys. Everybody's still doing really good in this tank here. I forgot to turn these grow lights on for these. Trying to see if I can get my wife's plants doing better here. And the fancy goldfish. I just shut a 10-gallon down that I had shrimp in. All the shrimp died off, so I robbed the plants and put them in here because this needed a little bit more greenery. Big Amazon sword that was stuffed in a 10-gallon. These guys are doing good. Got a big peace lily here. North fin hat. You can see how well these pothos are doing. And all these houseplants that you're seeing is why I got this light. I got this light here for free. It's a very bright, high bay LED light. And I did it to get more lighting in the entire garage for these plants to do well. The pothos, the house plants, you name it. It's super bright. It actually is so bright, it makes it warmer in here. And here's the 125-gallon Oscar tank. Pothos are coming up. I put these spotlights up too to help with the plants as well because I don't always want that big thing on. I threw some water sprite in here for some greenery. These guys like picking at it. There's the big boy. He don't look crabby today. Looks like he's in a good mood, so they're doing well. So check this thing I set up. This is cool. I drilled 2 holes in the bottom of the door. I inserted some 3/4-inch pipe nipples. I got caps on the outside when I'm not using it so critters can't get in. And I got the hose going out. So instead of prior, I was using a window. I'd open a window, run my hose, run my python through it. Well, now I made the little access hole, so I don't even have to do that. I did have to extend my python hose and get another 25 foot of hose for my pump. But now all I have to do is, it's already ran through. All I have to do is go out, take the cap off. I can suck the water out and fill it without even having to open the door. So that's my little system right now for doing my water changes and fills. You can see, and that's all sealed. I siliconed around it and everything. I did not. I'd love to have a utility sink in here, but then I'd have and run hot and cold lines here, and I might do that in the future. I'll probably get like PEX and shark bite fittings and run some hot and cold lines to a utility sink in here, because I hate having that have that much hose to fill from the sink on the other side of the house to get my hot water and cold water. But for right now, I did that little setup there and it works great. Over here is just going to be like a quarantine area, but like I said, this is going to come out and I'm going to put that stand there. The 30-gallon will be on top and a 10-gallon at the bottom. I've had this sign forever. 75-gallon Abuna tank. Now they're hiding from me as I'm holding a big scary black box, I guess. These guys are doing good. And of course the Jack Dempsey and the big Pleco. What's up, buddy? There's lips. Ooh. Now, I want to show you what I was telling you about. For all you plant lovers, my wife, we use the fish water that we use for our, every time I do a water change, I would save them in bottles so she could water her plants. Well, now I got this whole setup here. I got this thing for free. It's called an AquaSub Junior. As you can see, I wrote on here, plant water only. Every time I do a water change, I go ahead and drain it into there, a little bit of it. I make sure to get that uneaten food poop in there and mix it up. This is a portable battery watering system. So with what I do for a living, we have to water batteries and electric forklifts. This would go around, but this one's broken. It was leaking. The wheels broke. And I got this for free. So now I decided, okay, let's put it in here. So now this is full of plant water. And I got this pump right here. So I can take this pump, suck some of the water out if I want to in there, or use a python. And now anytime the wife wants to water her plants, she can come right over here, turn the machine on, and hit this trigger here, and water comes out. Fill that pitcher up, boom, 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 go around, water your plants, plenty of it, not having to refill bottles. It's good to go. So that's a cool little setup I put together. Let me know what you guys think of that. And I'll just do a quick once over. And I'm just waiting for my monster tank. I need my monster tank because it's going to go right in the middle here. I'll move that little island, and of course that won't be there. And I'm going to have a nice monster tank one day sitting right there. And of course, in my fish room, I'm a canister filter guy. Everything's canister filter. Everything. Hanging the backs are up there. If I ever need them, they're gone. And sponge filters. I go to sponge filters for the small tanks. Now check this out. This is a porcelain. I don't know what it is, but I've had it for a while, but it looks like the tiger barks. Excuse me. Let's get caught up on chat here a little bit. See what you guys had to say. See if anybody gave me a stop sign. Nobody gave me a stop sign. You guys are slacking. Says I love looking at thanks. Hey, Austin, good to see you, buddy. Let's see here. Gabriel made it in. Good to see you. Dan says you're way more organized than me. Yeah, this ain't gonna be like when I'm done. It's gonna be even better. Cecil got a stop sign for me. Let me write this down. Somebody's on the job. I posted pictures of my tanks on the Discord. What? I can check that out. I can bring it up right now. Cecil was on it. IT took my sub between this week and last. I had to resub. Yeah, they do that times, J Rock. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Gabriel said, hit the bell. Thank you, buddy. See if J Rock. Nice fish. I like it. Thank you, Spider. Spider Lady. It's a really sweet goldfish setup. Thanks, buyers. I like it. They seem to be happy. There is also a little golden dojo swimming around in there. As an update, if you guys remember, I got some blue shrimp from the Nano Aquarium guy, which I haven't seen for a while. I don't know if you guys have, but all those blue shrimp have died off. I don't know why. Got your bowl set up. Shrimp ship Monday if that works. Oh, okay. You did know, so I appreciate it, Myers. It's still a work in process. Like Whip told me, we never really stop tweaking. Hey, Blizzard, good to see you, buddy. Another good channel member. Supports the channel. I slept like crap, so I made this stream. It's only 7:37 right now. Normally be sleeping right now. Well, I'm glad to have you in either way. Gabriel says, oh, I'll go. I have it. It's right over here. Don't you worry about that. I brought it out. Animal Instinct made it in. Good to see you. That's neat. We put up rain barrels this year. I pumped the fish water into the barrels, and we water the dead spots in the grass and turn them. Yeah, and I figured too, Jay, if time goes on and I find I'm not using that much fish water, I could do the same thing. I could just take it outside and start over, but try to leave that good stuff in there, malm and uneaten food, poop, and such. Are you loyal to one type of cancer? Whip, I'm not afraid to try anything. I'm actually working with Higer right now. I sent them screenshots of the next two products I'd like to review, but that's not how it works. When they find something they want to review, they contact their people, and then we pick what we want. So I wanted to try the Higer's canister filter. Fluval is my favorite. I have used the Marine Land. I have never tried Sun, mostly Fluvals. But I'm not biased. I love to try any and anything. That's one reason why I like being sponsored by a company that makes this stuff, because I get to try certain things. I give everything a chance. I'm not that kind of person that says I'll only drive a Ford. I like to try everything. I think it makes you a more well-rounded fish keeper, and there's no sense in being that way in this life, because you'll never progress. You'll never know what's good, what isn't. So no, I'm not loyal to one. Now, however, if Whip was to if Fluval, who I've been contacted probably 4 times now, just to even be like a product tester for them, if they decided to sponsor me, when the pigs started to fly, because they are my favorite canister filter, and they've always treated me well. And if they decided to sponsor me, yeah, I'd be loyal to them. because at that point you're getting expensive, awesome canister filter for free. Myers put a stop sign in here. I think that was a little late. Yeah, I got 3 FX6s, 2 FX4s. I got a 407 and a 306. And um, we were discussing a little bit about hanging the back filters on Noisy Aquatics live stream last night with Jim, Happy Place. Yep, I got your stop sign, or I wrote that down. And I have found I lost that. Some with politics. I'm not loyal to them. Same with politics. Yeah. Hey, Pete Tag made it in. Good to see you. Try everything, but form opinions based on your experiences. Fluvels outperform everything out there in the mainstream, hands down. I think people know that. Yeah, exactly, J. Rob. Try everything. Don't be biased. Don't be. You got to give everything a chance. I hear great things about the Sun. I've never tried one. I might like them better. I don't know, and you'll never know until you try those things. Now that I'm caught up on chat, and this is where a stop sign would come in. And we was talking about hanging the back filters on his live stream last night, and I have always had hanging the back filters, and I just don't like them. And this isn't because I'm being lazy. So I want, before I go forward with this conversation, I want people to understand it's not a lazy thing. It's about efficiency. Hanging the back filters are a great filter, but I find that they need maintenance either weekly or bi-weekly. The filter inlets are always getting clogged. The impellers are always getting crap wrapped around them. The media seems to clog faster. I've got 4 or 5 or 6 AquaClear 110s. And after I'm done with this, I'm going to tell you guys my favorite hanging the back filter, and then you guys in chat let me know yours. I've used the Tetras, the Aqueons, the Top Fins, the AC 110s, the Marineland Penguins, as examples. I've tried most all of them. Not all of them. There's new ones out there, but I've tried most all hanging the back filters, and they're all the same way. They always are constantly needing unplugged, cleaned out, unclogged, cleaning the impellers. Whereas canister filters, I can run mine for 7 months and not touch them. I'm pretty sure I could go a year. Now it seems like as time goes on, that 7 months is upping. I bet you I could go a year without having to clean a canister filter. Knock on wood, I never have issues with them. I can't say that because I did have a motor fail in one, and I did have one leak, the 306, some years back. Other than that, no problems. So it's about efficiency. Now that I got all these sponge filters acclimated in these small tanks, the hanging the backs are going to come off and they're going to go up there with the rest. So all the small tanks will be sponge filters. No more hanging the backs. I just heard a loud noise that I didn't like. I don't know what that was. At any rate, but out of all of the hang on the back filters that I have tried and used over the years, my favorite is the Aqueon Quiet Flows. They run forever. That never seems to clog up. I love that baffled design that they have for beneficial bacteria to grow on the output. You don't have to prime them. They are quiet, and they never do seem to get loud over time. I've had nothing but great luck with hanging back the Aqueon Quiet Flows, and they are, in my opinion, The best hang on the back filter out there, and the price is much better for them as well. Let me know what you guys think of your favorite hang in the back filter. Um, Whip says, I have tried the early model C series canisters and Sun canisters, but every one of them leaked. I had a pile of 7 filters in the corner I had to take out and start. Wow. So a lot of people say they like the Suns. Your experience not so well as Whip, as you know, Ben Ochart likes the Suns. I had a Marineland MagnaFlow here one time, but I never used it. I got it free. Suns compared to the MagFlows from Marineland. Okay. I like the Hydro device. Seems cool. Yeah, yeah, that thing is pretty cool. As I said at the beginning of the stream on my little quick commercial, I am an affiliate of Hydro now. So if you guys decide you want to buy any Hydro products, use my link. It's on my channel there, and maybe a moderator can share it. I'll get a 10% commission on anything that sells with that. So if you want to help the channel out and you're on checkout, if you remember if you're buying a Hydro or something, use my link. I'd appreciate that. Wizzo had a stop sign here, but I'm not sure what that one was for. Cecil. Whiz. Okay, let's write Whizzle down. Slim Tim is still in the lead, guys. He's got 3, followed by Mel. Whip went over 5 years with the Marineland MagnaGlow filters, not by choice, but that's what happened, and they were fine. Okay. I like hearing stuff like that because I like to hear everybody's experience with them. Whip, did you try some silicone grease on the seals on the Suns? Might help you. It's CJ. That's something I preach all the time because I see a lot of people online saying they don't like Google canister filters or canister filters, period. But I think people want to plug these things in and let them run for ages. At least at a minimum, once a year, you need to tear them things down. You need to lube those seals with a food grade grease, which I keep here, and keep those seals and O-rings supple. If you don't do that, they're going to get dry rotted and cracked, and you're going to have leaks. So you know, as anything, it needs maintenance. I'll actually do that twice a year, and I never have leaks. The only reason why I had a leak on that one I was telling you about on the 306 is because sand got in there. In my experience, is how you change the media for certain clogs. In my experience, is how you change. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to clean it out. But what I find funny, boys, is let's take an AC 110. We all know how big that filter, that sponge filter is in there. Block, rectangle block is huge. Those things were clogging up on me, I would say, at least every 2 weeks. I might get maybe 3 weeks out of that, and it would have to be clean because the flow was so low. That in combination with the inlet and the impellers. My point is, between all 3 of those things, they really affect a hang in the back filter. Whereas with my canister filters, I can go reportedly and tested 7 months and not have to clean a thing. Cecil gifted a Salient Aquatics membership. Thank you, Cecil. Appreciate that. I don't know how that works when people gift memberships. So I don't know how that works. What happens when people do that? I'm assuming did you pay to give somebody a membership, or I'm assuming. But either way, I appreciate you. It's very nice. I think you did that last live stream too. That's great. Can't thank you enough. I'm a big fan of the title series. That okay, Johnny No Shoes. That is an HOB I have never used, and I hear good things about those too. We also have a few aquariums here. Spider Lady. That's what we do with pool filters with the O-ring. Yeah, I do that with my sand filter out back. When it just has to be done. Excuse me a minute. J Rock says it's important to do with mag flows because they don't make the O-rings or they're not available for the last few years. I don't know if they are now. Well, I tell you what you could do there, J Rock. You can go to any hydraulic store like Parker in your area and they sell O-ring kits. Just make sure you take one out and you go because there's different types of O-rings kits. And 9 times out of 10 in those kits, you're going to find an O-ring that works. It says currently, I think my favorites are the Aqua Clears and the Titles, but both have issues I wish they'd address. The Aqua Clear Media Sponge lifts. They do, and I hate that whip. And the skimmer on the Title, I hate that about both. Okay. Yeah, I've noticed that whole big thing will come up. And you can try to push it down, and it won't stay. It's like you got to put like a rock on top of it or something. I'll tell you, a good fix for that. Maybe you could sprinkle some lava rock on top of it. And lava rock makes a good filter media to help add weight and keep it down. At the same time, you're getting more media in that thing. Cecil says I like the Marineland HOB filter, but all I run is my HOBs and polyfill. Yeah, and that's what I did with mine. I ran the polyfill too. Works great. But I've taken all my HOBs off and I'm all canisters now. I got them up there for backup if I need it, and I have way less maintenance now. And that's why I look at it. Efficiency, making it fun, not a chore, less things to worry about. If I need them for backup, I can slap them on. Other than that, I'm done with them dang HOBs. Just canisters and sponge filters for me. Pete says, yes, you pay to gift memberships, and the membership is given at random. I knew they were giving it random, but thank you for clearing that up, price tag, and thank you again, Cecil. Appreciate it. Raisin says, sorry, Jesse, been outside harvesting rice, fish, eggs. They are breeding. Like, that's all right, man. It's cool. You do what you got to do. I'm just glad that you come in and say hi and talk a little bit. Jay, I did not. They only leaked when I turned them off and intentionally or a power outage. I have since given them away as parts so I can see if I was an idiot or if there was an actual issue. I think Fathom put a video out on the new Aqua Clear filter. I didn't get a chance to watch that. But I'm assuming and hoping that Aqua Clear finally went to putting an internal pump in so you don't have to prime it anymore. Does anybody know if the new Aqua Clear does that? Yes, you pay $2.99 to give one membership. All right. Thank you, Cecil. That's all that stuff goes to. It's a massive help because, and this will give me a chance to talk about my channel. Raisin said I did a fix on my titles to stop the skimmer feature. I did a video on my channel how to do that. Okay, cool, Raisin. And Whip can watch that. I have 2 top fin pros I've been using for a bit that I actually have to come to like over the Aqua Clears. Okay. I got 2 of those top fins, the little ones running my 20-gallon long here, and I'll tell you what, they take forever to prime. Like you'll plug it in, you'll fill it and plug it in, it sits there and goes for like 2 minutes before it actually starts pumping water. Okay, me either. No, they're too stubborn. They left them on the outside. Really? I can't believe they're not getting on the right. I hate, and that's the other thing. I can't stand hanging in the back. You have to prime. It's stupid. If the power goes out, you're going to have a problem. And that happened to my Aqua Clear several times where they were sitting there running and there was no water in them. And the water got so hot, like hot to touch. People have had fires because of that crap. But my Aqueons, love those. Aqueon hang in the back, in my opinion, are the greatest hang in the back. They don't have a lot of room for media like the aqua clears do, but they have that built-in baffle for beneficial bacteria to grow on its way out. They're super quiet. You don't have to prime them, and in my experience, they run forever. I forgot what I was going to say about my channel. I can't remember what I was going to say. Too much good conversation. I think I have two top fin 110s on my 150, and they're great, but they don't make them anymore. Yeah. I don't know. Mine are the little ones. They keep going, but they clog easy, and like I say, they take forever to prime the water. If I was to get another hang on the back filter for any reason, it would be these Aqueons quiet flows. They're great. I got my dog Miss down here, hanging out under the desk. How you doing, Miss? So other than that, everything is going good. I had some fish loss. Doing some tweaks to the fish room, scouring to find my one monster tank. I told you about that real bright light for all the plants because it is darker in the garage. And I was talking to Anita about that. I think she left a comment either on my last live stream or my last video where she saw the pothos, and I said how I want them to grow and I want to make just like a jungle in this room. She said they're going to need more light, which I kind of figured. That's why I installed the spotlights before that. But then I got that bright light to help, and I'll turn that on maybe 2-3 hours a day and let that real bright light hit everything because it brightens this whole garage up. But that thing, like I said, creates so much heat. It gets actually a couple degrees warmer in this room. You can feel it, which is great for the plants. I'm keeping it about 78 degrees in this fish room. The Mr. Cool unit seems to be doing a really good job maintaining that. It's warmer in here than it is the house, which I wanted it to be that way for the tanks. So they maintain about 78, 79 degrees, and that's where they are staying. So we'll see what this thing can do in the wintertime once the cold comes and we flip that bad boy over to heat. We'll see how it stays in here. And this winter, I'm going to wait for when I want it, because when you're trying to keep a room warm and it's cold outside, you can go around and feel the cold air coming through. That's going to be my plan to see if I have any leaks. Mel got a stop sign. Mel, that I think, yep, that's number 2 for you, Mel. So Tim is first, Mel is second, and then Craig's Catfish is first in line with all the ones. I was hoping Christine would come in so I could talk to her about that net she was asking me about last week. I've never had the not restarting issue on my aqua clears unless I break the seal by bringing the water line down below the intake. Then I need to prime them again once. Well, see, that was my thing, Whip. Every time I do a water change, I'd go below that and break the seal. Where I can do the same thing with the Aqueons and fill the tank up and plug it in and it goes. I just don't use the lids. I go pothos on them. Yeah. You take the glass lids off and just make a potho lids. It's not too early. It's not too early to order. Order what, Gabriel? J-Rock says, I got a little bit of everything in my fish room. If I could go all fluval, I would. Outside of fluval, I'm pretty partial. Yeah, same. That brings me into lighting. Let's talk about lighting a little bit. I got a little bit of everything. I've got Aqueon lights, fluval, aqua skies. I got these. I don't know where they came from because they came with this tank I got, but they're great little lights. They're like snake lights. They're plant. They're what do they call them? Grow lights for plants. Marine Land. Those Pet Smart ones that come with the 125-gallon aquarium setup. I've got Night Crew. And Fluval Aqua Sky continues to be my favorite light. I'd love to have my whole fish room Fluval Aqua Skies. One app. If the power goes out, all you have to do is bring the app up, connect to the light, and it takes back off where you left off. With all these other lights, you have to go in. You got to press the setting. You got to go up here. You got to set the time. You got to do this. You got to do that. Can't stand it. Efficiency. If I can take one app, connect to each light after a power outage, and it takes back over, I'm done. I like that. And they seem to grow plants well. They're so programmable and adjustable. Fluval Aqua Skies are great. Pre-order your custom crochet Christmas gifts. Oh, okay. I saw you talking about. I think you were talking about that. Was that Scourge you were talking about? Yeah, check out Gabriel, man. He crochets stuff. And he'll mail it to you when he's complete. You can contact him. You can send him a picture of a design you want. He did Dan's. If you get on Dan Everyday Fish Keeping Live, he has that big crocheted thing above his discus tank. Gabriel made that. Yeah, that's the nice thing about the internal models. You got it, Whip. I love it. I like my title. My favorite is running sponge filter and HOB. Okay, Mel. I like sponge filter and canisters together. Laura says, I haven't seen any videos from Sweet Acres and White. She's okay, Laura. She was on here last Saturday asking if I could contact Northfin. There's a 90 centimeter koi net she wanted to get off them. And I thought that kind of weird because Northfin only makes food. Well, I contacted Northfin and he got back to me about it. He said, yeah, we don't sell any koi nets. They only make and manufacture fish food. So that's what I wanted to tell her. And to know that I did follow up with what I said I would. Cecil has pothos growing out all of my tanks. They look great. Same here, Cecil. Love them. That water sprite's busting out of the tanks too. Spider Lady says, my son asked why I'm watching videos of fish. I explained to him that everyone here has a fish and gives each other some tips. Yep, that's what it's all about, a community to help each other out. I have a new light company who sponsored my terrarium build based on stats. It should outbeat the Fluval lights based on wattage output. All right, but what about usability, J-Rock? Hey, Shamu, good to see you, buddy. 240 made it in, another awesome channel member. I was chatting with him last night on Dan's stream. Gabriel says, Laura, I'm waiting to see how Sweet Acres mounted her crochet logo. Oh, that's cool that you got to make one for her, Gabriel. Hey, Talisa, good to see you. There's you're another natural Aquarist who recently did a move and had to, unfortunately, condense down to one 10-gallon tank that refuses to take my advice and make a stand that can hide a super secret hidden, maybe 20-gallon long. Hey, Shamu. Oh, that's what Whip says. Kim Gabriel saying hello to everybody. It's an app-based light, so I'm going to give Fluval a run for their money. Light will be here Monday. All right, J-Rock. I'll be curious about that, man. Make sure you give us first looks if you would, or DM me if you want to, or just in the Discord, maybe some inside tips or super secret hidden teasers on it. Yep, exactly, Laura. I love Hydra lights and heater. I have no Hydra lights. That's one thing I haven't got yet. I have Night Crew sent me 4 of them, and I did a video on each of them. And I like the Night Crew lights, but I hate how you have to program them and the things you have to do to make them work if the power goes out. But they're a cheaper light that works well. That's why you can get them for a little cheaper. I mean, you get the big 40-inch Fluval Aqua Skylight like I have over there. I didn't pay full price for them, but they're like 200, 250, depending on what your light you buy, where the Nikers are like 70, 80 for their big one. And they work fine. But never try to hire. Please says, landlord did approve a couple of fish bowls, though. I'll be setting them up soon. Talisa. You build a stand that has a cover on it, and you make it look like just like a stand for like something in your apartment, right? But ta-da, you open it up and there's a secret fish tank in there. That's what I'd be doing. I will be doing an unboxing setup and a function video and a separate view video followed up within a 3 month, 6 months follow up. Okay, J Rock. Yeah, because anytime you're doing a review, you really can't do a genuine review unless you've had a product for at least 6 months. Um, and like that power head I got from Higer, I did a review on it. Love it. Love the features. It's still running and it's still going strong. But will it be in the next year? Then I can make the follow-up review on it. Powered by, oh, don't you dare, J Rock. Powered by what? He's leaving us hanging. Look what he did here. See what he did here? Dot, dot. Medulla oblongata. Dan couldn't get through the chat till now. What's up, Paul? Good to see you, buddy. I'm trying to remember. I think I have 2 Higer lights, 2 aquarium co-op lights, Phoenix Stingray lights, 1 Fluval 3.0, 1 Aqua Sky, I think, and a bunch of shop lights. Whip, I have my very first LED smart light, if you will, was a Phoenix, 24/7 planted. The drivers are slowly going out. Now I had to retire that light, but it still works. So I put it up on my wall, and that's the one shining down on my Fluval banner. But I do like Phoenix lights. Whip, what's your opinion on the aquarium co-op lights? How do you like those? I heard people saying they look a little yellow. Talisa, you keep horses. You kept horses, so I know you can build a stand. Because keeping horses is a lot of work. And you have to build things and do stuff. But we'll build you a stand. I'm building one right now. But it's not one you can, it's a crazy to match this dang Petco tank, I call it. It's that Petco tank is 2 foot. It's 24 inches by 18 inches, like 18 and a quarter inches, real weird dimensions. So I had to build a stand for that. So I love to skate, been doing it my whole life. Oh, skating. That's old school. I skateboarded when I was younger. I enjoyed skateboarding. Me too, got to get some new boots and wheels. Probably going to order them today. Okay, cool, Laura. I didn't know you were a skater. Shamus says, speaking of filling out fault when fish die these days, I'm just like, I wonder what happened because it's almost always just sudden. Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier, how we were discussing that. You know, it seems to be a week for fish loss because I lost 3 of them this last week here. And I think naturally we always say to ourselves, what I do, what could I have done wrong, what I do. The first thing I like to do, and I put a video out on this, I like to check my water parameters to see where they're at. You never know. Ammonia can spike for some reason. Nitrates, you know, get too high, but I don't think nitrates are ever a real problem. But ammonia and nitrates obviously can be. So the first thing I do is test the water. I'm like, oh, okay, well the water's fine. Does this fish seem like he got bullied? I don't see any marks. I don't see any nip fins. He doesn't seem to be leaning. So I'll put some salt in the tank to help relax. I like to put it in the tank if I can. That way I don't have to move him and further stress him out. If he's not getting any better from that, then I will remove him and put him in a nice, relaxing vacation tank, and then I'll add some more salt. And if the salt's not helping, or Epsom salt baths aren't helping, I'll move to the meds. But I like to start with my salts first. True, I still have my favorite horse. Yep. I bet you had to build some things too. Sure, you had like a barn and such. Laura, look at Bond. I skate on clouds. Which says they're okay. I just got them. They were gifted to me by another YouTuber. We both know. Not sure he wants me to say publicly. I'll leave it at that. All good. Yeah, you don't have to. Um, yeah, I was just curious about it because when Ben Ochart switched his tanks over to the aquarium co-op lights, I liked his old lights better. His lights, I could clearly see on there that everything looked a little bit more yellow. They are a little yellow though. Okay. All right, Johnny No Shoes. Be safe. Have a good weekend, man. Appreciate you. Gotta get ready for a soccer game. All right, man. Good luck. J Rock does just fishing. In case anyone wants to check out J Rock's channel. Thank you, Laura. I had uh, I had rich doctors and had some retread them and they messed them up. Witch Doctors must be the name of a skate uh, brand. I had a couple rose lines just freak out, smack their heads into the glass and die. And they past year were doing water changes, but that's what they got for being skitty shitty. Yeah, yeah, I hate that, man. My one Tiger Oscar over there does that crap all the time. I can't believe he's not dead. I watched him hit full bore into a big heavy piece of dragon stone and glass. He still goes. I hate that. It's like, calm the F down. It's like, you know me. I'm in here all the time. I feed you. It's not the first time I've stuck my hand in this aquarium and did this. Relax. Would you compare them to the Higers, or what would you say they're closest to? That's a question for you, Whip. Higers or an aquarium co-op lights. What would you say they're closest to? Uh, Scott's. All right, peeps. Here's a moment for you to give me a stop sign. I got to hit the bathroom up real quick. So All right. Let's see. Gabriel on my end got the stop sign. Shamu with my Baylor Sharks do the same thing. Then Shamu, then Laura. Brandon got it. I actually have a video about that very thing scheduled to next Friday. I think maybe the next Friday. Sneak peek in my fish room that most closely resemble the Fluval 3.0 for the actual light vision. Let me write down Gabriel. We're going to run this ninja game to the end of this month and start fresh next month. So right now, Tim is in the lead, then Mel, then Craig's, then Christine, and then Cecil. But any of you can come back and be the winner and receive a gift card at the end of the month. Hey, Swift, good to see you, buddy. By the way, I'm about to make you guys a little hungry. Bacon and cheese Pizza Hut pizza. Looks like Swiftwood needs some advice. It's treating something with salt. You are number one. One fish that I have bad luck with, that is the fish's fault. Tiger barbs. They always kill each other off until they're down to one. See, I don't have that. I never had that problem. 240. You can see them living in harmony right here. Now, they do fight at times and they chase each other, but I've never had tiger barbs kill each other to the death. You're good. I don't eat in the morning, never hungry. See, I do. Sometimes I wake up hungry. And this is the stuffed crust whip. Mmm. Whip so good. Mmm. I hate you just a little bit right now, but whip, check this out. We also got cheesy bacon breadsticks with it. This thing is so good. It's like a cross between Megan Fox and Jesus. It's that good. Especially if you dip it in ranch. You have your chat set to all messages. Do I? I think so. Should I not? What should I not? I hope that's not Saddleback. Saddleback Colmenares. Oh. Could someone turn his feet off? Oh man, my one Android plug's hanging down. It's the plug where you put it on your phone is literally sitting right behind my dog's butt. Let me just, if I could just, there we go. She must need it charged up. Raisin says, hello, Whip. I sent you an email with links to the title series Tweak to Stop the Skimmer feature. Cool, Raisin. Thanks for helping. You should. That way you'll see everything because YouTube. Huh? No, missed it. No, it was still full. Yeah, I believe it's on all messages 240. I love pizza. I also don't like being stuck in the bathroom for 45 minutes. I don't have that issue. I love my pizza, my favorite food. You have it right. It was Gabriel. YouTube defaults to top chat. You have it right. It was Gabriel. YouTube defaults to top chat for some idiotic reason. Okay. Even don't know he's. I'll put it on mute.
Like this and like that and like this and like this. Like this.
Now, see, it's one thing I never really got into watching football. Baseball is my favorite sport to play, but watching it on TV is like watching two flies. I do like to watch Steelers play every once in a while, but I'm just not one of them dudes that get into football and get mad when people are losing and stuff. But I'm glad you got your Sling subscription, sir. I would start with salt and an antibacterial that has a sulfur-based active ingredient in case that is Saddleback. I'm gonna check that link out too. Swivel. Yeah, they say salt, like aquarium salt, does help aid meds into working, so I'd use them together. Get something like erythromycin and aquarium salt working together in there. Add an air stone. Make sure you add an air stone if you didn't know that, because meds and salt reduce oxygen, especially when you use them together. So definitely increase your air stone in the tank when you do it. She says, I love my college football. Go Hokies. Hey, Crazy for Seahorses. How are you? It's amazing how fast time goes when you're having fun. So, just like Swiffle having a problem, he's got what could be saddleback. Was it Swiffle's fault that that fish came down with that? As the topic of my live stream is, does when fish die, is it always our fault? Did Swiffle do anything to allow that to happen, or did this just happen? Same with my case with my fish. He was alive. I swear to God, all of a sudden he's dead with fungus buildup on him. It's like, what happened? I think that sometimes fish just die, just like people. People can all of a sudden just die, right? Yeah, Steelers. Yeah, well, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. With Gabriel, he was just talking about how the YouTube chat works. It wasn't about you. It was just about your placement in the chat. True says you need Denison bars. Heard because I bought half the world's supply. Huh? How big do Denison barbs get? So Denison barbs can grow up to 6 inches long, but typically reach 3.5. Shamu, if you want to send me some, I got room for them. Do I have room for them? Are Denison barbs aggressive? Roll Tide. Oh, it took me a second. You were first to do the stop sign. Yeah. Sometimes there's nothing we can do about fish dying. It happens, but in my experience, most of the time, it's my fault when a fish dies. See, in my case, I'm not going to say I haven't killed fish because I probably have, but it's not because of water parameters. It's not because of lack of maintenance. It's not because of quality of food or anything like that. I'll come out and my fish are dead. Whether it be due to bullying, which has only happened a couple times for me. So they just up and die, and I don't understand what happened. So I think the fish has an issue. But is that because it's captive? Kept now, or would it still be alive, like Whip said earlier, if it was out in the wild? I don't know. There's lots of things in the wild that can happen to kill fish. So, I don't know. But you always leave yourself wondering, was it my fault? What I do? What could I have done different? It's always that question in your mind. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this subject on the stream, because don't always go into it thinking it's something you did wrong. Test your water, see where it's at. Look at the fish for signs, visually inspect it. If there's nothing wrong and it doesn't show any signs of disease or any signs that it was being bullied with nipped fins or missing scales or what have you, maybe it was just time for that fish to go. I think trying to understand that why when a fish dies is important. Sometimes it's just aged out of a lot. Yeah, aged out, but a lot of time there are issues we're missing. Yeah, I agree, J-Rock. Denison barbs are awesome and peaceful, and I have 7 of them and a 125 with a rainbow fish. Rainbow fish is another fish I want to get a hold of. They're peaceful. They all chase each other, but that's it. And it's almost guaranteed that they'll die in shipping if you try to ship them when they're over 4 inches long. Okay. Makes sense. Sorry, I hate eating on camera, but I'll mute every time. Hungry. I'm always up at 5 to 6 in the morning doing stuff. So by 9, it's been 3.5 to 4 hours I've been up doing stuff already. So I'm hungry. I'm used to that. So come weekend, I can't just turn that switch off. I'm still getting up. If I try to sleep in, my dogs are waking me up to go outside because they've got adapted to that all week over the years. Raza says my local Petco sells Denison barbs. Just maybe I'll check it out. I do like Shamu's. He's got a great looking, fantastic tank over there. If you've never checked the Shamu Aquarium's tank out, he's got one big, beautiful 240-gallon aquarium. He did a fantastic job. One beautiful fish, well aquascaped, clean, looks great. And I love those rainbow fishes. But I'm waiting until I get my last aquarium. I'm not into buying fish right now. I just moved into this fish room. I'm scouring the internet to find my one big monster tank. I want it to be no less than a 240. 300 and up would be fantastic. So I'm taking my time to find that sweet deal. I did find a 225 for free in Wilmington, which is a couple hours drive from me. I messaged him on Facebook. He never got back to me. He won't get back to me. So I'm assuming that's a scam. But I'm scouring. And once I get my one big monster tank, I'm going to be looking for some different fish. I thought about transferring my Oscars into that one so I can have that 125 open and move all my bonus to it, which would leave a 75 gallon. But with a 240 gallon and up aquarium, you have room to put multiple fish in. Now, if I move those Oscars that I currently have in there, they're set in their ways. They're old. They're used to just each other. They're not old. They're older. They're used to it just being them two in a tank, and they're crabby as with each other as it is. So I don't think if I move those two in the monster tank when I get it, any fish that goes in there is going to be destroyed, or it could go the opposite way for all I know. But those Oscars are set in their way once they get older. So I think if I put them in there, it would ruin my chances of putting anything else. So they might just stay. But what I want to do with the monster tank when I get it is I would love to make like a big, large fish community tank. Rainbow fish, maybe some Denison barbs. I want to get some silver dollars. It's a fish I've never had and I've always wanted to like the silver dollars. So I want to put together like a larger community fish tank, like most of you guys do that I see, and put them all together and just have an awesome activity in a big tank in the center of the room. So any suggestions for something like that from you guys would be great. Somebody on Facebook who literally does autopsies on fish, he said that it's somewhat common for fish to die of things you can't see, like cancer. Okay, that's good information, 240. Some people just throw up their hands and never try to understand why their fish died. You don't learn anything that way. If there was something wrong, I want to know and why. Yeah, but when they're showing no signs, there's no nip fins, there's no damage, and they look fine. They're not bloated. They don't have eye cloud. Nothing is showing. They just wake up and they're dead. How do you figure that out? Whip says, I was speaking specifically for me and my situation. My fish room is nearly 100% of the time my fault. I've forgotten to turn the filters on 3 times. I remember that video you put out on that. I've had fish kill others to death. Right. Yeah, I got you. I remember that video you put out on that. Whip. I've had bad water quality due to my well being compromised with the nearby AG field chemicals. Oh, no. That's terrible. The other thing I notice is the more I learn, the longer my fish live. Seems to make sense, J-Rock. Are you even a real fish keeper if you've never accidentally killed a fish? Right. I mean, that's how you learn. Thin, bigger barbs, spices if you really got a big, thin, bigger barb species if you really got a bigger tanks. Well, clown loaches. Another thing I want to frontosia. I want to get some frontosia. I like those. Right, no signs, no parameters off. Nothing wrong with no other fish sick or dying. You can chalk it up for age or time. Or yeah. Clearly, if the other fish doesn't have anything that's contagious, everything seems fine. Just something that's like, come on, man. Who when Cecil gets that membership, who got it? Does anybody know? So first I got to find the tank, and then I got to figure out the fish I want to put in it. Love to do frontosia. Love clown loaches. Love clown loaches, but man, do they get big. But I'd love to have some frontosia in there. A mix of different. Honestly, you know, I love a mix of peaceful fish, large peaceful fish. I have three frontosas growing out right now, two reds and two black widow. I can't wait to see them in the 130. I think you'll love them. Yeah. The so the reds and blacks, I'm not sure what they look like, but I want those blue and black ones, like Vibes has. I think Vibes has them. Oh, you got a whip. Cool. That's cool. But if a fish dies and I test my tank and I don't care what anyone thinks, sometimes the tank crashed for whatever reason and I can see that, so I don't really agree with the no testing thing. Yes, I've always been preaching that. Some people say they don't worry about testing their tanks because their fish are acting fine. Now, clearly, if your fish are swimming around, they're not pacing up and down the glass, and they're swimming around, they look healthy, they look fine, they're eating. They say, why are you testing your tank? It's a waste of time. I like to weekly test my aquariums because you never know. I think just like J Rock was saying there, you never know when you can have an ammonia spike. There might be a little dead fish in the back corner underneath a rock you can't see that's spiking the ammonia. I like to weekly test my aquariums. I think to each their own, but that can save your butt sometimes. And I don't have any problems with my waters when I test them. But I think it's important to test your water at least weekly, bi-weekly, just so you know what your water is doing. I even got one of those TDS meters that I will maybe every 2 or 3 months stick in there and see what my TDS is. I just like to know what my water's doing. When I got my huge Denison barb 6 months ago, the OG owner said they're only a year old. The largest one's 6.5, and I doubt they're only a year old. Won't be surprised if they die in a year or two. Okay. So what's their lifespan? 240. Black Widow are the blue and black, just the morph pattern. Okay, those would be the ones I'd want. So like you want some blues there. Uh Maybe. Let's look it up. So here we go. So these are the blue Zares. So the blue Zares are not what I think Whip and I were talking about. He was talking about the Black Widows or whatever, which are black and blue, right? And these are the Zares. Would that be correct? Like you got a few at work. Cool. I don't test weekly unless I'm setting up a tank. I test to know what the time frame is between 0 nitrates and 30 nitrates, and I use that time frame as my water. Oh, that's cool. What's that time frame for you, J Rock? I'd be curious to know that. They typically live 5 to 7 years. I've seen some that were allegedly 10 years old, and boy, do they start to look weird when they get out. Really? Uh, so, so if it's a week, to get to 30, I change the water on that tank every week. Right, I got you. It makes sense. Xerophontoses is very similar to the Burundi, just more rare and they're tougher to find. Okay. Hey, Hagen, it's good to see you. I hope everything's going well for you guys and the baby. Appreciate you coming in. Good morning. What TDS check quite often just because it's super easy to do and give a good idea of further testing? Yeah. So real quick, stick it in there, you're done. And all of how a TDS meter works, if no one really understands how they actually work, you stick these two prongs in the water. You hit the button, and what it does is tests the resistance of the water. The higher the resistance, the more total dissolved solids you have in your water. That's how it tests. That's how it gives you a value of how much total dissolved solids are in your water by the resistance in the water. Shamu says, I used to buy fully grown fish and then wonder why they die. Yeah, I like to get them young and grow them out. TDS is a great indicator. Exactly how I do it. Each tank is different, depends on the plants. Yep, they're like a thumbprint. Mel got me a stop sign on there for when I was looking, so that's great. We're going to get her down. So, you know what that means? Mel and Tim are tied for first place. There is a gift card involved for the winner of this. And it's going to be a gift card that you can use anywhere. So these are the Blue Xerophontosias. They're very pretty. Now we're going to look up Whip's Black Widow ones. I think he called them. So there's the difference. That's what you have, Whip. Is that what you got there? I agree, Haggis. They are pretty. Frontosia is a fish I want to keep next. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they have like the deep in this. They live quite deep in the sea. Okay. Oh, Allison's good to see you. So these are man-made, Allison. Only ever had my TDS and all that GHKH stuff tested once. Forgot about the numbers. Forgot what the numbers were. The is that the water is hard at and sensitive fish like rams don't like it. Okay, I have the GHKH tests, phosphate tests, and all that stuff. That's the ones you have, Whip. Very cool. Okay. I always like when Allison comes in when we're talking about fish too. I don't know, Whip, if I like these ones as much as the other ones. I mean, they're cool looking, but I like your classic Frontosia, I think. I think I like these ones better. An old friend of mine's parents had a 240-gallon tank full of frontoges when I was in high school, and they were always hiding. Well, I think I've seen Vibes is always swimming around. They get big. How big did these guys really get in captivity? Maybe Allison or anybody with experience can share that. How big does the frontosia get? I can't remember. I think I know they get pretty big. And yes, they are line bred to look like that. That doesn't happen out in nature of it. Yeah, makes sense with. You also could have a trio, one of each. That's true. So Crazy would say lower lights for them. You can't beat the standard. Okay. 10 inches, about a foot long. I'd like to have some of those. I know they're slow growing too. They get big, but they grow slow. Definitely a fish I'd most likely have to order online or off somebody who may breed them in the fish fam. But when I get my monster tank, I'd like to have one or two of these. Yeah, right around a foot or give or take. Okay. Yeah, I'm digging those. Expensive. Let's look that up. Whoops. Oh, well, why did it do that? So here's the average cost. It says anywhere from 79 to 89.99. Does that seem right? $13-inch plus. Not too bad. Got to swap if you have swaps already. $30, baby. Cecil's quick. I gotta write him down on that. Yeah, don't pay that much. Okay. Who here can get me some of them Zaire for frontosias for a good price? I want them small because I want them to grow slow and get big in the tank. Kind of hang out in the tank, not active swimmers. That's fine. I love frontosia. I bought them a little though, around $20. So P tag, if you have some, how many do you have? Maybe I can get some off P tag when I'm ready. You're gonna ship to me. Let me write Cecil down. Cecil's up to 2, so that puts Cecil in 3rd place. Black Widow price. Well, I want these Zairs. You have any of those P tag? You have any of these P tag? I have 7 of them. Okay. Yeah, I know Garcia has some. Garcia has babies from time to time. I don't know if he's selling. I'll have to get with Garcia. I'll call him up. He told me to get some. I'd like to get me some of these. So I think he talked about getting me some already. But I think he has some of these, right? He was in here, but he never stays long. You know, Garcia never stays on my live streams as long as I stay on his. That's another conversation we're going to have. I will drive down to Florida and pour Gatorade in every one of his fish tanks. Not to kill him, to hydrate. I want to get some of these. That is definitely one of my fish I want to get when I get my monster tank. I gotta get the tank first, but I'm kind of trying to put together some ideas now of an awesome large community tank. Rainbows. I'd like to get some rainbows too. I like them rainbow fish. Well, these are the Zares here, P-Tac. I picked up my Black Widow at Aquashell for $30, just one small, maybe. Okay. Don't give them any hiding spots. You'll never see them. The rights. He says 240. He already puts Monster in a drink. Yeah, he does. Some things will kill you. I used to drink. There's only one energy drink that ever worked for me, and that was the Red Bull. I just can't do them anymore. Terrible for you. I just drink coffee. Coffee, tea, and water. I don't even drink pop. I call it pop. You guys call it soda. Just sugary drink that's bad for you. High fructose corn syrup, all that. That's tea, water, and coffee for me. Yes, I want to get some of them bad boys right there. Trying to put together a list, and maybe during this time while I'm searching for the tank, maybe I can get with you guys on the live stream and we'll write down. So we know I want the blue Zare Frontosia. What else is a good fish to make a large community tank with bigger fish? What would look good? What would get along? They usually at a fish shop, cactus bread usually mixes between local color morph. Okay. In addition to the Frontosias and Ornate Bursher, I plan to go with the Nadobanois. Oh, the Dobai or something. I think how you say that. I hate all these scientific names. Calvus cichlid. You guys and your scientific names, you're good at that. I suck at it. Folks, I just got some things to get done. Okay, Raisin, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, have a good weekend. Appreciate you. Convict. I know the convicts. I know the lemon cichlids, and I don't know the cuckoo catfish. That's crazy weird. I love my Frontosia. Mel, I have to mark you down for another stop sign. Coffee beard, a little bit of water for Jake. I should probably change that up. Yeah, I've heard of clown loaches are good with. Yeah, and the clown loaches, I wouldn't mind having a couple of them. But the problem with clown loaches is another fish that gets big, but a very slow grower. But the problem with them is they like to be at least schools of 5 to 6 to be happy. If you have one, it might get depressed. So how do you keep a fish that eventually is going to get 2 foot long in a group of 5 or 6? I would need a 2,000-gallon aquarium, if not larger. Wolf cichlids. Now, and I hear they're aggressive too, though. So I've got the blue Zare Frontosia. I got clown loaches down. I need another good. I don't want to get your run of the mill cookie cutter fish for this tank when I get it. Something a little bit different. Something you might not be able to just go to the store and get. Mel. That puts Mel in first place. Mel is in the lead on Ninja Games. I hate scientific names either. I hate them. I can't say them. They're stupid. Like cyclist. Me either. I like the I like that blue one with the the black stripes on it. That's me. I thought you get a big tank, but a lot of flow helps. Yep, working on getting me a monster tank. That's what's next. I got the room for it. I'd love to have a 10-foot long aquarium, 30 inches high, 3 foot deep. I mean, I would, the bigger the better, but if they're hard to find for what you can afford, I'm not building one out of plywood because, in my opinion, yes, with the Facebook market site, there's too many aquariums on there that are 240, 300 gallons and up that you can find for a good price, especially if you're willing to travel a little bit further. You can get those large tanks for cheaper than you can build these plywood tanks with a heck of a lot less work. So to me, in my mind, it's unless it's something you want to try, just to try it. Building your own aquarium out of plywood is no cheaper. You still have to buy that large piece of glass or acrylic once it's finished, which is very expensive. Pond shield is very expensive to seal it. The silicone really isn't a big deal, but rather, however you build it, whether you're using fiberglass, pond shield, whatever the case may be, all that stuff costs a lot of money. The glass alone is crazy. So in my opinion, I'm better off being patient and looking on the Facebook market site till something comes available for what I'm looking for. Ideally, I found one online, but the guy wants crazy amounts of money, 16-foot long aquarium. He has 2 of them. He slowly dropped the price. I contacted him and let him know, hey, man, if you ever feel like you're sitting on these too long and you need to get rid of them, let me go. I can take them off your hands, but I cannot buy them. So I got him on the back border. Of course, it's a shot in the dark, but I'm one of them guys that will ask anybody and try. Obviously, the guy has money. He's got 2 16-foot long aquariums that were in an aquarium that he bought to put in his house that he can no longer use. They're sitting in the garage. They're massive, massive aquariums. I have no idea how I'd even move it. I certainly could afford to pay a truck to go pick them up and deliver them here for me and help me set them in place. But I can't give the guy 30 grand or whatever. You think he was originally asking 30 grand a piece? I can't buy an aquarium that expensive without taking a loan out, nor do I want a loan on something like that. So I think I'm just going to be patient till the one comes that's feasible, and then that's when I'll do it. For front toes, would you like? You would need 5 of them, probably, Shamu. See my note above about Staten Island cichlids. I did not see that. King of hangout in the tank, not active swimmers. I saw that one. Read that. Mel's now in the lead on Ninja Games. Clown Loaches. Read that. We'll see Liz. I don't think I saw a note about Staten Island cichlids, Allison. I have several in mind, and they are still happy. Okay, P-Tech. Yellow convicts, they are peaceful and care species. I have 6. Okay. Joey the King of DIY had a bunch of front toes in a Shelly tank, and I think it was just a 180, so you don't need a huge tank. I know, Whip, and I appreciate that information, but I want a large tank. I don't want anything smaller than a 240, and so I'm looking above that. I want one big monster tank, and I will have it. All right, Myers, appreciate you coming in and get your dinner with GF. Having dinner with GF and the kids. See you all later. Thank you. See you. Appreciate you. Myers, have a great day. See you, Myers. Bye, Myers. I only have 2 little bitty clown loaches. Was only supposed to get my friend Stripe Raphael Catfish, but he bought those 2 loaches along with it. Oh, man. Hey, what the heck? Those Raphaels are cool. You had one, what gets leaky? Oh, a plywood tank? Well, if you build it right, you probably won't have that issue. I watched King of DIY's videos in Aquarium Domain and you know, the Cichlid brothers and all them guys. And if you build it right, they won't leak. I think that Scottish fella, he calls the mega tank. I always forget his name for some reason. Graham. He had leaking issues with his, so it happens. You've got to build it right. But I'm just not into building a plywood tank. I don't think in this day and age with inflation, the cost is worth what you can find on Facebook Market site for a used aquarium. Hey, Jeff, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Yes, the dude. I'm going to go for now, Justin. Everyone got to do some maintenance. All right, P-Tag, see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate your support. I see no Staten Island. I didn't see one either, Whip. I don't know what he's talking about. What is he? So the post disappeared. YouTube modding. Type it again, Allison. Jesse is over here trying to one-up me on tank size. Yes. 240 is going to run you some. Actually, I'm finding them on Facebook Market site for very cheap, Whip, but I just don't feel like driving 3 to 4 hours to get it. If I could find ones for the price I'm finding at the max of 2 hours away, I'll go get it. But I'm actually finding good prices on 300 gallons, 330 gallons tanks. I'm just being patient till I find that tank that I want that's as close as possible for the best price. I just got to be patient. June's in. Oh, Christine's in. I got something to tell you, Christine. June from Only Oscars probably looks like electrified. Oh, that cute little tank. Yeah, she's got some big ones. I wish June would send me one of her monster tanks. You could connect 230 Gs. You could. But I want to set it and forget it. Christine, last Saturday, you asked me about contacting Northfin to get a 90 centimeter koi net, correct? You can't watch Jeremy's video. He's only built tanks that need their own solar system. You're right, man. He's amazing. Oh man, I wish I was messing with him. I said, "Come to my house and build me a 2,000 gallon in my garage. A 2,000 gallon." What's this? Best viewers. Somebody get this Twitch. Can everybody see this Twitch comment here? Go ahead and kick this one out. Why are they cheap? I don't know if they trust you for this. Seems look. See, I don't have a problem with it, Whip. See, I'll get it. I make them fill it up with water and watch it. And even if it leaks and it's just a seal, I have no problem. If I can get a free to cheap 240 gallon aquarium that I have to reseal, I'll even do that. I don't care about resealing a tank. All my aquariums have came off, with the exception of 2. All my aquariums have come off Facebook Market site, and I've had good luck. Knock on wood. Yes. So I'm not sure why you think Northfin sells a koi net, because I emailed my like I said I would, I emailed Darius over at Northfin and talked to him about it. And he said they don't make them. The only thing that Northfin makes is fish food. So I'm not sure where you found that net, but Northfin does not make nets. That's what he told me to tell you. Cecil. With my DIY plywood thing. I posted again. It disappeared. That was happening to me on Jim's live streams, Allison. That was happening to me on his. I would post it, would disappear, so I screenshotted it and sent him a text to show him, and then he realized it was happening. When I was looking for 240s, I tried looking at used ones in my phone. Said, hell no, brand new only because they're worried about leaks. Yeah, but that's what you do, Shamu, is you get the used tank, you bring it, you set it up, you fill the whole thing up, clear to the top, black trim with water, you let it sit there for a day or two. If it's not leaking, you're good to go, bro. Or you can just straight up reseal it. But that's what I do. I do the leak test for a couple days. If it's not leaking with that water still in there, I add a little bleach in there, regular bleach. Do my disinfecting and cleaning and drain it. Rinse it again, drain it, let it completely dry out, and then I bring her in. Yeah, you're welcome, Christine. I don't. That's what he said. Northwind don't make them. Me too. I've never bought one bigger than a 150. Not that a 150 gallons on my floor is that much different, but a 240 seems risky. See, Whip Shamu got one right in his house. Jim's got one in his basement. Of course, mine's going on a garage floor. So, and of course, the garage is angled. It's tapered downwards to go out the garage door. So I don't have to worry about that. If I get a leak in this garage, it's not a big deal. Take the fish out, put them somewhere else, fix the leak, put them back in it. Okay, so they kind of freak me out every time they swim like that. And who swims like what? Whip, you have a 210, don't you? What's the people talking about fish flashing? Not and you know, not always if when a fish is flashing is there a problem. I've noticed tiger barbs flash a lot. It's just what they do, and there's no problem. My baby seahorse is swimming sometimes belly up and taking a nap on the ground and not moving always scares me. My clown loach, or yeah, my clown loach, my dojo loach, that's a character right there. He does that game. The way he just sits so awkward on things, and it looks like he's dead. And then you go to move him a little bit, and he flips out. Jesus. Yes, but I brought it new, and the first one did leak. That sucked. Why? Why did it leak? I got a fish tank in here that I got off a man that died that was in the military, fish keeper of 40 years. This is a 125-gallon aquarium, and it's the old 125-gallon aquarium. It's got the glass brace in the center, the one wide glass brace. Knock on wood. I hate talking about this. I don't want to jinx myself, but it doesn't leak. I moved it here. I just moved it from in the house out to the garage on casters with water still in it. It doesn't leak. I hope that my luck stays this good with tanks. But again, for me, all my tanks are out of the house now. If I have a leak, it's not a big deal. Let it go. It's just going to go right out this way. Clean it up, fix the leak. Done. My original plan was to replace my 135-gallon with 180. My dad said, you're going from a 6-foot tank to another 6-footer that's just a little deeper. That's stupid. Get a tank that's longer. Yeah, and I like my longer tanks too, 240. That's what I want. I would love to find a 10-foot long tank. That'd be great. 10-foot long, maybe 2 foot, maybe 24 inches wide, maybe 30 inches high. I think that equates to something about like a 330 gallon or something like that. That'd be awesome. Well, it's been good conversations, but we are at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. I am going to go ahead and jump off because I got some things to take care of. I certainly appreciate everybody coming in here. I think I did have another stop sign to put up here. Cecil, I think, got it. Yep. Let me mark Cecil down for another one, because he was doing that while I was talking. So now we've got Mel first, and Tim, and then, well, Tim and Cecil are tied now. Mel's first. Oh, June showed up. Good to see you. So keep Flex Seal on hand when you get it. Yeah, I actually have Flex Seal tape on hand. That stuff's amazing. If you get a leak, it's a great way to buy you some time, for sure. And you can put it inside the tank when it's wet. Yeah, June, I gotta jump off. It's been 2 hours, 20 minutes. I got some things to take care of. Just, you know, I'm a Christian. Well, I apologize for that, Shamu. What can I do to get that permission? Thanks for another fun stream. Have an awesome day. No, thank you guys. Appreciate you. I always enjoy it. It's fun. Oh, no, we ain't getting any cheap ones in there, Mel. But a good try, Mel. I can't get anything over 6-foot tank in my basement. It won't make the bed. Oh, you can't stand it up, right, Whip, and make it? Cecil, now you're just throwing in stop signs, man. Jude, we were just talking about how we probably look at a 200 gallons. They're like, oh, those cute. Yeah, because she's got all the big ones. No, you can't even stand it up. Okay. Well, at least you can get a 6-footer in there. That's good. Can't complain about that. For me, it's one more tank, a monster tank. I just got to find the right one and be patient with it. And then we'll put together a nice list. Maybe we'll make a stream out of it. So, but now Shamu's cheating. I don't see June. She must have me blocked. Are you serious? Well, I missed you guys last night. We had a surprise birthday party for the hubby. Shamu down for 10,000. All right. I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys' time. You're the best. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me every morning. It's fun. I really enjoy it, and I look forward to it. So until next Saturday, we'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you out in the field. Be safe. I always look at your guys' videos and watch as much as I can and comment and like them. So we'll see you. Good night. It's not even noon yet over here. 2:40. See you guys later. Appreciate you all.